Breaking news from Washington. President Trump has just signed one of the most controversial executive orders of his presidency, a nationwide voter ID mandate and a near-total ban on mail-in voting. Supporters say it's about protecting elections. Critics warn it could silence millions of voters. Here's everything you need to know. Today's top story comes from Washington, where President Donald Trump has announced one of his most controversial executive orders so far. The order, revealed on September 1st, would make voter identification mandatory in every U.S. election without exception. Under this new plan, every American who wants to cast a ballot, whether in federal, state, or local elections, will be required to present a government-issued photo ID. Unlike some state laws that allow alternatives, such as utility bills or student IDs, Trump's order would apply one single strict standard across the country. But that's not all. The executive order also takes direct aim at mail-in voting, which became especially common during the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the new rules, mail-in ballots would only be allowed for two groups: military personnel serving overseas and voters who are seriously ill and unable to reach a polling place. Everyone else would have to vote in person with valid ID in hand. The move has already sparked fierce debate. Supporters of Trump's order argue that it will protect election integrity, prevent fraud, and restore public confidence in the voting process. They claim that showing ID is a simple requirement, no different from presenting identification to board a plane or buy alcohol. Critics, however, are sounding the alarm. Many Democrats, civil rights organizations, and voting rights groups say this order is unconstitutional because the U.S. Constitution gives states, not the federal government, the power to regulate elections. They argue that the federal government stepping in with such sweeping rules violates that principle. Beyond the legal fight, critics also warn about the real-world impact. Millions of Americans do not currently have the type of government ID required under the new rules. That includes a significant number of elderly citizens, low-income communities, students, and racial minorities. Opponents argue that these groups could be disenfranchised, in other words, stripped of their ability to vote, if the order goes into effect. Legal battles are already on the horizon. Several governors and state attorneys general have said they will challenge the executive order in court. Illinois, Governor J.B. Pritzker, for example, called the order a direct attack on democracy and vowed to resist it. Experts expect the issue to reach the Supreme Court, where the justices may be forced to decide how much authority the president really has over state-run elections. This announcement also ties into a larger political battle. Trump has repeatedly claimed that mail-in voting is vulnerable to fraud, even though multiple studies and investigations have found no evidence of widespread fraud in past elections. By pushing this executive order, he is doubling down on that position, despite criticism from election officials across the country. For now, the executive order sets the stage for a major political and legal showdown. On one side, Trump and his allies insisting the move is about securing elections. On the other side, opponents warning it's about suppressing votes and reshaping democracy itself. As the 2026 midterm elections draw closer, this fight over voter ID and mail-in ballots is almost certain to dominate headlines, courtrooms, and campaign trails in the months ahead. And this battle over voter ID and mail-in ballots is only beginning. Do you think this executive order protects democracy or undermines it? Tell us in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more updates on U.S. politics.